Hi, I'm Nick Bonner with treestuff.com, and today we're going to look at just some of the carabiners that are available for professional arborists and climbers. We could talk all day long about the hundreds of different carabiners that we assort here on Tree Stuff, and that would be a long and boring video, so hopefully this will be a medium length and boring video. Let's dive right in and start talking. Over here on our left, we have some accessory carabiners. These are definitely not life support. You'll hear me say life support and talk about locking mechanisms a lot. This is a stamped aluminum carabiner. It's very simple, wire gate, key nose. So the wire is the spring and the gate in and of itself. The whole thing is self-contained. This is an Edelrid Micro that comes in several sizes. There's also the Black Diamond Micron. The Micron has a profile that's going to be similar to some of your more standard full-size carabiners. This one is rated to about 250 pounds, I want to say. It's labeled danger, non-load bearing. Again, standard wire gate with your hook nose. There are a lot more accessory carabiners in this kind of like in that standard family than what you see here. We also have two options from Rock Exotica and DMM. This is the Rock X and the XSRE, or accessory, from DMM. Hot forged and milled. These are both premium versions of the same type of product. You're gonna see both of these feature a key lock or key nose, solid gates, and both of these are rated to 5 kilonewtons. So the Rock comes in a pair and the DMM comes in a symmetrical oval. Over 1,000 pounds for these bad boys. These are certainly luxury versions of the accessory carabiner. Uses are going to range from holding your keys, stowing tools, setting up and configuring an ascent system, little micro connections, all sorts of stuff, but not body weight, please. As we transition into what I would consider a full size or full strength carabiner, we're going to start to see that 23 kilonewton or 5,000 pound as your minimum strength. So this is a wire gate carabiner from Petzl. It's the Ang-L or Angle. They also have the Ang-S. I don't know if that has like a fun way to say it, Angs. Small and large. What makes this special is the type of wire gate. It's a single solid piece with an additional spring, and you see this ball is what catches there. Regardless of whether it's a wire gate or a solid gate or any type of gate, the gate is catching in some way in the nose, and when you pull a carabiner, it stretches. It's hard to, I can't pull it hard enough, but when it's under load, it stretches and the nose catches against whatever that gate is, and that's why the carabiner doesn't just peel open. We'll talk a little more about how the gates affect strength as we get into some of these other shapes. So wire gates are available in the traditional type of wire, or like I showed you in this Ang solid bar, in a variety of sizes and shapes from all the different manufacturers. The first locking mechanism that we really saw in the carabiner market was the twist lock, or screw lock, excuse me. So you see this carabiner is open, but when I screw this shut, it's no longer open, it's locked. So screw lock. This is the most basic form of locking mechanism. It is positive, it's safe, and it will hold and stay shut. A big thing that you're going to see is that this is not generally considered life support in industrial use, much like the twist lock that we'll go over in just a second. So screw locks are available in all sorts of different shapes and sizes, from aluminum to steel carabiners, from all the different manufacturers. One thing that is interesting about this carabiner that's different, a feature you won't see from other manufacturers, is this steel insert. This is Edelrid's bulletproof technology. So in an aluminum carabiner, you have a steel rope running surface. You get the weight benefits of aluminum and the abrasion resistance or running rope resistance of steel. So that's certainly nice, and that comes in locking, twist lock, all sorts of different shapes and styles. The next locking mechanism that we have, this is the first auto locking carabiner, the first type of locking mechanism. So this is a twist lock. It's a double action, single locking carabiner. So twist and pull will open it. It's easy to do one-handed, twist and pull. It will not open unless you perform the twist and pull. So one lock, second action. So two actions, 1, 2. Twist lock carabiners, again, are not considered life support in your common industrial applications. So let's talk about some that are. Everything in this middle section here is a triple action, double locking carabiner, and these are all considered life support by any accrediting body or country that I know of. So whether you live in Canada, Australia, America, Germany, all these carabiners are good to go as life support. So your most basic shape is going to be your oval or your offset oval, as we see here. This is a notch, triple action, double locking carabiner. So one action is push the barrel up, one action is twist the barrel, and a third action is open it. So two locks, one lock, second lock, and then the third action opens it without restriction. Double locking, triple action carabiner. Again, very easy to open. All of the carabiners that we have here are going to open in that way with a few exceptions, but it's always going to be up, twist, open across all of the manufacturers with exception of Rock Exotica. Rock Exotica's carabiners, with all but one carabiner that they make that's auto-locking, pulls down, twists, and opens. Some users say that this is a little easier, a little more intuitive. If you're used to the other way, you might find it a little frustrating or different, but I've known people to switch their entire set of carabiners to Rock Exoticas once they discover this, because for some people it's just easier. The other exception to that push up, twist, and pull for the triple action, double locking carabiner style is going to be your Petzl ball lock. This is patented Petzl technology, so you're not going to see it in other places. But what you're going to do is push on the ball, twist, and open. So it won't twist until you push on the ball, twist, and then open is going to give you one action, two action, three action. Two locks, three actions. All these carabiners look like different shapes. So again, we talked about your offset oval versus your ubiquitous oval. This is the DMM Ultra O, probably one of the finest carabiners available for sale, and certainly probably our best seller. It's got really nice stippling on the gate here, very smooth action, and it's going to open easier. What do the different shapes mean? Well, a lot of things. Your oval is your most basic shape, and when it loads, it's going to load symmetrically. So theoretically, an even amount of force is applied to the gate as to the spine. Because the spine's a solid piece of aluminum and the gate isn't, the spine is stronger than the gate. So oval carabiners, all things considered the same, are the weakest shape of carabiner because the gate is the weak point and it sees the equal amount of load in this configuration. So oval carabiners have a lot of advantages, which is why you start to see these offset ovals. This is not quite a D and it's not quite an oval, but because the carabiner is offset in shape to the spine side, more of the weight hits the spine than hits the gate. Therefore, the gate becomes a failure point at a higher total force, and this shape is stronger than your totally symmetrical oval. All the manufacturers make ovals and or symmetrical ovals, so it's not that notch is stronger than DMM, it's just a difference between these two shapes. To continue that comparison, if you look at your standard D-shaped, D-shaped carabiner, this is going to be your strongest shape because the load is transferred directly to the spine first and the gate at a much later stage, so there's less force on the gate. D-shaped is always going to be the strongest, again, all things considered. An oval steel carabiner will probably be stronger than a D-shaped aluminum carabiner. There's also HMS or Williams style carabiners. These are generally going to have the profile here that is used for self-belay techniques and things like that, but you're going to see a pear shape that's designed to have more rope-bearing surface up in the top in the nose section than down here in the bottom. Some of the other features that you'll see on carabiners are captive eyes. This is a climbing technology carabiner, so again, it's going to have that triple action, double locking feature, and it has a captive eye at the bottom. I personally define a captive eye as anything that is stopping rotation and localizing an attachment point to the bottom. Now, this is non-permanent. This is a wire eye, we call this. So you have a spring wire gate down here, which certainly can be forced out of orientation. But you know, depending on the application, this could be perfect for you. So this is useful when you're applying it to a webbing bridge and you always want it to orient up. on a friction saver, or a lot of other types of custom applications. You'll also see more permanent fixed eyes, right? This is a great example from ISC on a Big Dan steel carabiner. So the 3 steel carabiners that we have here are all from Big Dan. Steel is by far stronger than aluminum in the types of applications that we see for carabiners. They are markedly heavier. This carabiner weighs as much as these 2 carabiners in the hand. It certainly feels like. ISC does a really great job with steel carabiners. DMM, Petzl, Notch, Climbing Technology all make steel carabiners in all of the different shapes, styles, gate closures that you see here. So you're certainly not forced to choose ISC. A couple things that are interesting or neat about this line or features that you'll see. This has what's called an offset gate on it. So again, not an ISC specific feature. You'll find offset gates in other areas of the market. But the big difference is that when this opens, it opens to the side versus this one, which opens straight back. What that does is it affects gate clearance, which is this space here. And by opening to the side, it won't interact with the back spine, which in most cases is going to give you more space to get rope in between the gate and the nose. Big Dan, to me, this is like the ubiquitous steel rigging carabiner. It's really heavy. I use these when I was out in the field all the time on the end of winch lines or anywhere that I expected a carabiner to need extra strength and take just a ton of abuse. These things take it and keep on ticking. I've also seen climbers using these captive eye auto lockers as lanyard snaps. It positions well on a sewn or spliced eye and also has that weight to get it around the tree that you see some old time climbers really tend to prefer. So overall, a general overview of your standard accessory, aluminum and steel carabiners. These all have different things to offer. They're all available in a million configurations and colors. But I think that covered the basics pretty well. There are a ton of specialty carabiners hitting the market now. I've got a couple out here to show you. They all kind of started with this one right here. This is the DMM Revolver wire gate. This comes in a Locksafe, triple action locking version, a solid gate, the whole 9 yards. But what really set this apart was this rotating pulley sheave down here. It was used in rock climbing and it allowed the leading line to have less friction coming through the first point of protection on long rock climbing routes. Arborists, being the crafty people that we are, immediately started using this for light lowering and things like that. This was then followed by other devices in the marketplace. This is the Petzl roll clip. They also have the Z clip where the gate opens the other way. I don't know if it's right or wrong, but you will notice that it's just a little weird, right? The way the gate opens on this one, it doesn't feel quite right the way it's shaped, but they have the Z clip where the gate opens the other way, and that can be useful when you're clipping it into ascenders and things like that. DMM, a little late to the party, but did not want to be left out. They have come out with the Revolver Rig series as following up to the larger sheaves that you see on the Petzl items. This one features your triple action or Locksafe gate. It's not offset, we talked about offset, but here you have 2 sheaves as well as a removable captive eye pin. So this pin can be removed and the whole thing can be modified. This also has a load-bearing becket on it, which is really useful if you're trying to set up mechanical advantage settings or all sorts of different kind of cool systems. So these are really nice hot forged parts by DMM. They never disappoint. These carabiners, as well as all of the carabiners that we sell at treestuff.com, come with our expert advice in these video series, and they're all available for 7% off with the discount code online. I really hope you enjoyed this series and the information that we're able to share with you. Please leave us comments, like, subscribe, or check us out on Facebook, where we have a really extensive live webinar series, bringing you guys hosts and topics from all over the industry on a pretty much monthly basis now. Thanks for watching. I'm Nick Bonner with treestuff.com.